With my dad, Green Bay Packers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles this Sunday. In Philadelphia, Packers already beat them once. What kind of chances do you give them?
Who?
Packers.
What kind of chances do I give the Packers?
Yes.
I give them a 50-50 chance of winning. Depend. Their defense will play good enough to win. I have confidence in Capers being able to scheme for Michael Vick. Michael Vick, I heard today or read today, he's at 100%. I think Don Capers will be able to scheme. He didn't really have time to prepare for Vick. He wasn't ready for him the first time they played, but I think he will be ready for him this time. And it's just a question of whether our offense comes to play or not, and that's always the flip of the coin. You never know which offense is going to show up. Most of the time, it's the bad offense that sputters and is all disjointed for most of the season. That is how they play. A quarter maybe of good play in some of their games, or maybe a few drives, couple of drives, and then sputtering the rest of the game. So the only time they really played very well were, I think, against teams that like the Cowboys. They didn't care if they played for their coach anymore. They had a great game against them. So, I don't know. I have no idea what to tell you other than I think that the Packers can win, but on the other hand, they can lose. And they can either look real good or real bad, depending on which offense shows up.
Okay, so you have Michael Vick on one side, Aaron Rodgers on the other side, two totally different types of quarterbacks, although Aaron Rodgers can run if he wants to. But one game, who would you take? Who would you rather have as your quarterback for one game, Aaron Rodgers or Michael Vick, for this one game coming up?
Depends what kind of supporting cast you have. If you don't have any kind of a supporting cast, then I take...
An equal supporting cast between the two.
Equal?
Yeah.
Then I take Rodgers.
Do you think he's a better quarterback than Vick?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
I think he's just smarter, and I think he's more in control. I think he's a better passer. But he has to have the supporting cast, too. If you're just talking about some quarterback who has to put the offense on his back and carry it, well, then I'm going with Michael Vick, because he's more capable of doing that.
So you think?
But if you have an offense with you, I go with Rodgers.
Okay, all right,
and that's
fair enough.
Rodgers has had good games when their offensive line played well, and if they have any kind of a running game, they don't need a great running game. If they run the ball, whatever, 20 times and they even get 80 yards, that'll be enough to open up the play-action pass. And then Rodgers can be very effective. But they have to be able to do that. It starts with the offensive line, doesn't it?
Yeah. Both offensive lines for both teams.
Yeah.
Struggling coming into the game. Don Capers on defense. What do you think of the job he's done?
Don Capers deserves more credit than what he is getting. I don't hear much about... I hear Mike McCarthy getting credit for having this team at 10-6 in spite of all their injuries, and so often I don't even hear Capers' name mentioned in these conversations. He deserves much more credit than what he is. He's the one who puts together the defensive schemes. He's the one who patches all these guys in and has them ready to play every single week, in spite of their injuries. You got second and third string, sometimes fourth string players in there, and he has them ready to play, and they know what they're doing out there. And so Don Capers, if the Packers win the Super Bowl, they ought to carry him off the playing field on their shoulders. That's my opinion. That's how strongly I feel about that. Mike McCarthy, he's had charge of the offense. That's his baby, and that has sputtered and looked disjointed all season, with a few exceptions. So that defense is carrying the Green Bay Packers. He has done a wonderful job.
Okay, in 20 seconds, who wins the game? Final score.
Eagles.
Final?
20-10.
All right, there you go. We'll see if you're right. Maybe we'll be back next week.
I got to catch my flight.
And we'll have a post-game interview for you.
Yeah, okay.
There you go.
Bye.